Understand how this the concept of Dhaan and the Varnas have come in Sanatan Dharma. In this set, there are three important creatures which we will choose today. One is a human being, the plants, and the animals. Who is a bad consumer? We will decide. Human beings, when they are born and if they are living up to the ripe old age of 70 or 80 plus, during this time, how much of oxygen they consume, how much of water they consume, how much of food they consume. And if you look at it, besides the food, it is not for survival. Beyond survival, we exploit the mother earth and then take out all the minerals, gold, silver, diamond, which the human beings consume, and the fuel which the human beings consume. Besides that, we build palaces, big buildings, so we also consume the mother earth. And at one point of time, it goes beyond survival and we start hoarding so much of money which we do not require to pass it on to the next generation, and that becomes a very bad consumer. We don't give anything. So the human being's consumption is too large, and it goes to a certain extent that he eats plants. How much of vegetables he consumed during his lifetime, how much of fruits he consumed during his lifetime, how much of flour he consumes, takes it for his use. Besides that, how much of fuel he consumes, all goes to huge consumption of the resources of this mother earth. Huge consumption. And then he goes one step further and start hoarding for his next generation, which animals and plants do not do. And when somebody inherits the property, he inherits the pap of his ancestors with which this wealth was amassed. And then comes the plant. Plant do consume sunlight, they do consume water, they do consume air, they do consume the mother earth, but what they do at the final stage is they sacrifice themselves, because the human beings take those vegetables. He robs, he steals those resources, and he takes those fruits and vegetables which the plants actually give. So there the plants, the consumption of the pap gets nullified and neutralized, and there is a possibility that plants may get a better birth during the next birth, because they sacrifice themselves, they sacrifice their produce. So with the case of animals do not hoard, they do not wait for the next day, they hunt for their survival. It's okay, manu dharma. And then animals also gives us lot of milk, lot of resources, even the skin, the flesh, everything human beings takes it. And when it is being sacrificed this way, their pap gets nullified. So if this is the culture, this is the nature, who has broken this Manu? It is the first three varnas of the varnashrama, namely the Brahman, the Kshatriya, and the Vaishyas. So in order to not to consume too much, Brahmins have been told that you need to be very pious, wise, and only take bhiksha, the alms, and then your consumption doesn't go up, and you always concentrate in spirituality. Next comes the Kshatriya. The kingdom is not his property. He is a custodian of the kingdom, which has been reminded by Draupadi, saying that she never said, she is not a normal woman who says that you cannot gamble me. This is what is understanding. It's wrong. What she said was, the kingdom is not the property of the king. I am a subject in that kingdom. You cannot gamble me. So Kshatriyas, normally they rule, they tax, but that money is being spent for the welfare of the people. He never claims that he is the owner. Then came Vaishyas. They do trading, and the additional whatever the money they earn, they spend in chowdhuries, digging wells and then ponds. So it gets nullified. So the concept of Dhaan came. Even Islam says only this. So when anything which you consume, when you earn more, you have to give it away in the form of a dhaan. So if plants also do, they sacrifice themselves, and animals sacrifice themselves, so they do consume for their survival, but only human being, they consume more than what it is required, and they start hoarding. So who is a bad consumer? It's we. And what we need to do in order to be equal to plants and animals? Dhaan. So, or refrain from consuming more. So next time when you want to consume something, think who is a bad consumer. And that is how this culture has come into being. And the culture also given rise to religion, which says dhaan. By dhaan is a prayachitta for overconsumption.